This is Blackout Triple O, and today we are reviewing the high-grade Universal Century Zaku 3. Years old, but despite its age, I actually kind of like this kit. Stickers and articulation, I think, are actually pretty good for the age. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, starting off with the head, we have a little bit up and down. Actually, no, there's a tiny bit of up and down, not much. Let's see, left to left, right, goes all the way, almost all the way around. The nose gets caught up in the back there, those grooves. Okay, now the arms, we have articulation in the shoulders. Can go, without the arm coming off. Goes about that high, and with the shoulder armor upward, it can go a little higher. So about that high is the height it can go. And it can go all the way around, and has a 90-degree bend there, and the wrists do that. Same with the other shoulder. This is on a ball, actually it's on a poly cap, and it moves up and down very slightly, and so does this section here. And again, 90 degrees in wrist joint. And the thruster fell off. Waist movement actually pretty good, even with the huge backpack. Onto the backpack, we have these like almost thrusters. Move up all the way there. Can go all the way there. Don't know why you need to. And here it can go even further if you twist the armor. But pretty good articulation for a backpack. Side skirts literally not moving at all. Same with the back skirt. It's it's two pieces, pretty much just static. Front skirts move up and down, and this is because of its beam cannon gimmick. And these come out. They're little handles, and that we can get into that later. But they don't allow for much articulation anyway, because the side skirt blocks it anyway. Legs are like that. You get almost no bend there. And that's because kind of just the armor is clashing into each other. But yeah, that's like a 45. That's not much at all. Then we have the feet here on a ball joint. A lot of movement, but they're so big, there's kind of no point. And then we have these, which are just kind of supports, but they don't really do much because it's just so massive. And as you've seen in this the video so far, all these tiny little thrusters are pretty poorly attached. They're all falling off here and there. We have these there's one that goes there, there's one that goes here, and they don't attach like a peg. It's kind of just, they fit on a little groove, and if they just stay on, then they'll stay on. But now on to accessories. We have the beam rifle here. It goes into this hand right here, and it holds it okay. It's a bit top heavy, so of course now it's not doing anything. There we are. It doesn't really hold it by itself. The back end lifts up. There you are. See, focus. There we are. So it doesn't have a tight grip. Another thing too is that the finger doesn't. Here, let me see. Get closer. The finger doesn't quite match up with the trigger, and it's probably because it's a mold from another kit. Now, the beam rifle also has a bayonet, which actually it attaches really strangely. It's a poly cap of all things that plugs into the bottom there, and it doesn't. It fits, but it just doesn't seem right. It's not very secure. Kind of wiggles around in there, and then putting that there, it's fine. Articulation here in the handle doesn't really do much, but it's there. And we got a beam saber. It's the old kind, so it's no clear effect parts, one big piece. Nicely molded though. Actually thought this was a part of the runner, so I didn't even see it until I looked at the manual. And we actually get 2 sets of hands, one for the right, one for the left. Another trigger finger hand, and I believe that's for the beam cannon gimmick in the skirt armor. And a closed hand for the beam saber. And we get 1 extra part. This is probably another section to another like Zaku, or don't quite know what it's from, but it's like very similar to the mono eye kind of part in there. Scene lines are pretty much everywhere. It's just a nightmare. So again, that's due to its age, but it's just like every single part you can kind of pick up. There's scene lines everywhere. I think the feet are probably the best when it comes to scene lines. Like right here, this is one big piece. Other than that, it's just like every single tiny part has a seam line. So if you plan on painting, good luck. Okay, now in terms of painting, it doesn't have much stickers, which is good, but it doesn't really have all the color accuracy. The stickers it does have are just in the mono eye. There's one for behind the mono eye, and then the mono eye itself. And that's pretty much it for stickers. Put you right there. So, okay, in the manual, we see that the gun, clearly these hoses there are clearly red, and it does lack the sticker there for the, I guess, scope or lens. Let me focus there for a bit. There we are. There we are. And then for the arms here, we're missing kind of a black kind of sticker there. And yeah, and then all the vents and hoses. So like this red part here on the crotch piece, that's actually supposed to be kind of a gray, at least in the painted one they have here. And then red on the insides. And then that's kind of with all the thrusters they have on this painted build. It's all the thrusters are red on the inside. And obviously that makes sense why they don't have it. But it is interesting. And then the bayonet, again, is kind of a beam bayonet with blue. And then the beam saber obviously needs to be painted. Another thing too is, I'd like to mention, is just the chest vents. Because it looks like stickers should go in there. But it's kind of just a manner of that they're not deep enough, because they're almost like vents, but they're not quite. And in this artwork here we have, in the manual, probably lifted from Zeta Gundam, but you can see that they're just significantly deeper, and just the kit does not have those, so they just look like they're missing stickers. Okay, and one thing I'd like to point out is just the painted build on the manual. It's not really like the highest quality. I mean, I'm not the best when it comes to painting or anything. But it just kind of is sloppy in areas. Like the seam, like just the panel lining is like almost done with a mechanical pencil, which actually is okay, but it just kind of looks spotty in areas. The mono eye is clearly sticker. It just doesn't look all that great, and sorry about the glare. And then, like, the beam saber handles, and I get those are hard to paint, but there's times it just doesn't look all that good. Parts of the kit aren't actually the best, and again, this is due to its age. But let me see if I can get this. The cockpit part here, and again, my skills aren't necessarily the best, but I haven't even whittled away at this red piece, and it's already kind of like almost like chipped and stuff. And yeah, it was kind of odd. It's on a tiny little runner. It was in the unboxing. It's a little red one. It's runner B. Yeah, it has a little bit of defects. One cool thing I wanted to show you guys is that, okay, so you've seen the manual, right? It's you know, not bad, not terrible, but just like here is the manual from 2000. And I have with me my second oldest kit, but here's the manual for the High Grade Universal Century Gundam. But just the level of, like, this looks about the same, but like the quality of the kit for one is significantly better. Like just looking at, you know, let me see, just looking at the face, right, yeah, it's gonna be hard to see. It's a little bit better, and just the fact that the paint is better, like they even painted the court fighter and stuff. So that's different. But then just the visuals look so much brighter. Like it just, yeah, I guess they got into the groove of it, you know. They figured out what they wanted the UC line to be, kind of. But there's that, you know. Not the kit I'm reviewing or anything. Now the question is, would I recommend this kit? It's a yes and a no. For around 1,500 yen, that's what the recommended price tag on the box says, and about the price I got it for. It's not necessarily the best because of how old it is and how, like, most high grades these days, especially in, like, IBO, are, like, utterly fantastic, and they're actually cheaper. So it's, in comparison, it's not the best. But if you're wanting a Zaku, then I'd suggest anything from the Revive line. That would be your best options, and they'd be probably the same price. But if you're wanting a Zaku 3, it's well, like one of two kits, and it's not terrible, and it's certainly not bad, especially for the time. Yeah, if you really like the Zaku 3, certainly get it. What's a real shame is that we're not getting a Revive Zaku 3 for the Twilight Access. That's pretty, it's a bummer. Well, that concludes my review of the Zaku 3, and thank you for watching.